Y'all planning for this?
Welcome back, TPR Nation. This is Micah with another amazing episode of Tips from the Trenches. Now, you know pretty much how this goes. Both myself and Jarvis run independently two very successful financial planning firms. Mine's up in Alaska, his is in Washington. And in this episode, we want to talk about a little detail, a little thing that really, really matters, a tip from the trenches, so to speak, on improving your practice to that perfect RIA status. Now, one of the things we always want to do, we're always talking about, is bringing on new clients, right? What's your prospect process? How do you go through? How do you do this? And then how do you evaluate? Now, sometimes, especially early in our career, we can get tempted into saying yes to everyone, even if they're not an ideal fit. So how do you make sure it's an ideal fit? You know, some people out there talk about create your ideal client. What does that look like? How do you go through that process? And for me, that was always hard, right? Especially when I was first starting, because I wanted everybody, right? I was also solving for math and money, and I needed to get income, and I can help everybody. And I can be this amazing financial planner. There's nothing that I can't learn. So I had that mindset of why I should help everybody, which was really challenging to get over. Then it kind of morphed into this while I was in the habit of saying yes to everybody. Now, how do I say no to certain people, and where do you go back and forth? So for me, I broke it down to what I call my 3 Ps: personable, productive, and profitable. A client has to meet all 3 of these P's, and we should meet those 3 for them in order to make sure it is a great relationship. Now, there's a reason the first one starts with personable. This is a really important thing for me. I got to know when I get a phone call from a client, when I get an email, that I'm excited to talk to them. This means that I've had a connection with them. I like them. They're likable. We seem to have good chemistry. We seem to connect, and those things are really important. Another part of the personal one that should go in your prospect process: have you done any social stalking? Well, your team, has your team done any social stalking on them? Have they sued other financial advisors in the past? Have they filed multiple complaints? What are those other things? What type of profession are they in? For example, not sure I'd work with too many litigators that are out there. They're too apt to sue and to move to these things. Maybe this is just my own bias, but it's not something I work with. Another area I don't work well with is in real estate agents. I don't know why. They're always focused on real estate deals. They're not focused on the other term. Yes, I know that's a general statement, but for me, that mentality does not connect, and I'm not going to add the most value to them. So you got to stop and say, great, what's the thing that you're looking for in bringing on a new client? For me, it's got to meet those 3. One of the things personal is so important is clients love you until they don't. What does this mean? When something goes wrong and they blame you for said event, what is that going to look like? Now, I know it's a negative way to look at this relationship, but you need to look at it in those lines, because mistakes are going to be made. Whether it's a mistake you control or you did or someone else, you are still going to be part of that blame process. And what is that going to look like in that relationship? And if it's a great client that's going to understand, that's going to work through and going to do these things, then perfect. That's going to be a wonderful fit. If it's a client that you're saying, well, but I could really help them. Ooh, that's a warning sign right now. If all of a sudden they don't meet our criteria, but in our mind it's, but I could really help them, but they could really use the help. Now we're breaking our process. Now we're breaking our rules. And I'll tell you what, in your experience probably is the same as mine. When I break my rules, bad things happen. And so I gotta be sticking to these rules. You gotta be evaluating and saying, now, if I'm meeting with a prospect, and let's say they don't meet the 3 Ps, any of them, guess what? I'm still going to deliver massive value in that meeting. I'm going to crush it. I'm going to make sure they have a lot of great experience in that meeting to make sure that they had value, but that doesn't mean I need to commit to a lifelong relationship with them. That also means sometimes I break my own rules, and if they became a client and I realize later on that they're not a good fit, I need to graduate them. Why? Is it because I'm being mean and cold-hearted? No, but I need to design my life and my practice so it's going to thrive the best way. And sometimes some people just aren't ideal fits, and that's okay. So the action item for this is, what are your 3 Ps? Mine: personal, productive, and profitable. Those are the things that I evaluate, and I break down each one so I know if a client's a good fit, and I know if we are a good fit for that client. What are yours? How are you going to evaluate those prospects to make sure they're an awesome fit? Till next time, happy planning.
Hold on before we go. Something that you need to know. This isn't tax, legal, or investment advice. That isn't our intent. Information designed to change lives. Financial planning can make you thrive. Start today, don't think twice. Be a better husband, father, mother, and wife.